I think after Abhi spoke and then John started, so I missed a major part of what John spoke and what Sanjay was also speaking. Uh, okay, so basically, what I wanted to talk about is draw on my experience both being a media person as well as being an educator because I primarily teach at a college level. Um, and I just wanted to point out one thing where, in my opinion, I think education needs to be evaluated constantly. And that is primarily on what kind of people does an education system produce. Like all of us have been through more or less the same system, and I think the focus has largely been on literacy, largely been on collecting information. But what we often miss out on is the very crucial skill of questioning. And the reason I'm focusing on that is, I think, at least the parts of what Sanjan Kunzangle was speaking about, I think that is that important thing of teaching children and then adults how to question. What it does is it helps you deepen your understanding of various ideas. It helps you, like, for instance, understand other people's views, even if they don't necessarily align with your own. And it also ensures that you never actually stop learning because if you're constantly questioning, you might be an annoying person to be around, but you never actually stop learning. And that is unfortunately something that, in my experience in Ladakh, but also in the rest of the country and some places abroad also, we often are not encouraged to question in the same way. And when we don't have those skills, we end up being like we are. It's like be having a curse where you're trapped in your own ignorance. So I think that's a very important thing that we really, really need to look into. And because often when we speak about education, we end up looking at infrastructure, which is important. Also looking at different aspects, all of which is important. But if the education system is not producing, say, what I would call reflexive people at the end of it, then I would say that there is an issue with the system. And that's something I think we need to look into. And other issues, like I think what I heard John speaking about, for instance, about medium of education, those are important. I'm not disputing that. But I think the basic concept of just thinking and here I would like to draw a connection between, say, for instance, a lot of the divisions that, say, we see in Ladakhi society also. A lot of them, they've not happened overnight, but a lot of them have been nurtured because people are not having critical dialogues. Like, say, for instance, why is someone thinking differently? And what is their perspective on an issue? The more recent discussion, say, for instance, Leh talking about sixth schedule and Kargil talking about statehood or going back to having JNK as a state as a whole. Both till very recently, there was no discussion between the two districts, the leaders in the two districts, and that is something I think that takes us back to the education system itself. Like, are we trying to understand why someone else has a different perspective? Are we, for instance, trying to build consensus? A lot of those issues are important, and I'm making a generalization here because there have been cases where people have publicly questioned, say, the dominant narrative. I think a very good example would be the interfaith marriage that happened in 2017, and the way it played out after the youth in both Leh and Kargil started questioning the way the leaders were handling those issues. Then, for another more recent example, would be the way the UT administration was forced to act to bring Ladakhis back from outside during the lockdown after various sections of Ladakhi society started questioning their narrative of how the pandemic was being managed. I think so. There are those examples that are there of how questioning without necessarily being confrontational. It's not about fighting. It's not about, I'm not trying to promote like a leftist agenda saying that we need a revolution here. But what I'm trying to say is basically just that skill of questioning. if, for instance, you're talking about climate change, what is climate change? Why is it happening? What can we do about it? Those are very simple questions, but often the answers can be extremely profound. So I think that is important. And the examples I gave were primarily things that were of, say, social level, like overt crisis that led to some public questioning. But what I'm actually trying to focus on the importance of having those questions in our everyday life, like just trying to understand. And an example yesterday, like a colleague of mine confessed that she supported a political party, which was at odds with the way I see politics. My response to her was to ask why she supported that party. And she was initially very hesitant because she expected me to attack her reasons and, uh, dismiss her views. But then she opened up after she realized that I was genuinely interested in understanding her views and reasons, helped us have a much more meaningful dialogue of politics at large and not necessarily get into an argument of, which party is better or something of that sort. So, and in the end, we found a lot of common ground, even if we had a general disagreement or a range of other issues. So, I think that is a very, very important thing that we often forget when we are framing an education policy or when we are framing a curriculum or a syllabus. And a lot of other issues can be built around that. I think a similar question I would ask is what kind of uh, worldview is an education system promoting? And here I would say that Ladakh, unfortunately, is part of a larger system, which, in my opinion, is to an extent broken. And why do I say broken? Say to a large extent, if we look at the education system, it's built around creating dualisms. So, there are issues like nature and society are completely at opposites. Similarly, tradition and modernity cannot coexist. So as a result, we end up thinking in either or. So it has to be either English or Ladakhi. I think something like from what I understood from what John was talking about, we can have a platform where both languages can be used, so something I think just creating those dualisms can be very, very destructive, and we often don't realize how destructive it can be. My actual background is in environment, and if you look at, say, for instance, if I look at nature and society as being at odds with each other, and that is what I truly believe to be true, then what sort of policy will I make, say, for climate change mitigation, if I'm going to look at society as something completely removed from the environment? But unfortunately, that is the sort of thing that is promoted by the education system that we currently have. And I think that it is something that we need to question. It is something that we need to change. And lastly, I think I would just focus on where, like, say, for instance, what does media have to do with all of this? Because a lot of people, they have, when in conversations with me, spoken about how media needs to highlight uh, this issue or that issue. But we often forget that media is also influenced by various interest groups and various agendas. And a critical media can only be sustained if there's a critical readership. And unless readers are willing to hold media itself to account, how can we expect media to hold others to account in a fair and just manner? Uh, to give you an example, in 2017, after the interfaith marriage issue, we had covered the issue from various perspectives in Sava, and we had a reader who wrote to us in very strong language accusing us of being anti-Buddhist and asked why we don't, for instance, investigate why there is no a monastery in Kargil town. And we did that. And it turned out to be quite I would say, an inclusive sort of piece, because we had people in Kargil saying that, for instance, our Buddhist brothers need a place to worship also, so we should all collectively work. So there were those narratives which were otherwise not coming out in the public domain. So having someone question us held us to account also. And I think that is a very, very important issue that really needs to be promoted. And I think finally, I'll just end on the thing that we need to move the education system away from a system that's focused on, say, an examination performance, rather, and make it to, transform it into a system that focuses on questioning and engaging with concepts. One that empowers a person to think and evaluate and judge the merits of ideas rather than obedience and conformity. And I really sound like I'm promoting a leftist agenda, which I'm not. And yeah, and I think what Dialogue Ladakh is trying to do is, I think, a really welcome step in that direction. And it is something that I believe we really should promote and support in every way we can. Thank you.